Hey everyone, it's Jennifer. Today I'm part of a fun video hop here on YouTube for the Simon Says Stamp 2013 Holiday Card Kit. So I'm going to show you how to create this fun card here. I'm just going to show you bits and pieces because this is a short video, but I think there's some techniques that you might like. So I'm going to start with some watercolor paper. My new favorite watercolor paper is Tim Holtz Distress Watercolor Cardstock. It's just a good, high quality cardstock. I've cut some little rectangles here, and I'm going to put little pencil marks at the halfway point on one end of each of these. This will help me into making these into quick and easy triangles. So I'm going to cut from that halfway point to one of the opposite corners, and this will cut one side of my triangle, and then I will do the same on the other side. This is so easy to do. Now you'll notice that my paper frays here, this is because I use this trimmer for a bunch of kitting this weekend. These blades last for a long time. But this one finally died, and so I'm using a fingernail file to rub off that frayed edge. Now this is one of the stamp sets that's in the holiday card kit. I love this stamp set. It's got some great borders. I'm going to white heat emboss this on each of the trees so that I can do a fun resist technique. So I'm first stamping with Versamark ink and then adding some white embossing powder before I heat set it. I'm going to use distress inks today. I'm going to use an ink blending tool to apply them. This is the Mowed Lawn color. You'll see that I work from off the paper onto it so that I get a darker edge, like a nice shading effect along the edge of the tree. And also pick it up and rub the ink right on the edges too. Now for the other two trees, I'm going to use Forest Moss Distress ink, and also for the third one I'm going to use Peeled Paint Distress ink. Now the reason I'm using distress inks is I'm going to add some moisture to the top of this, and that will cause the inks to blend and kind of move around, giving a great watercolor look. I love the look of watercolor, and this is a really quick and easy way to do it. Next I wanted to create that starry sky on the background, so I'm going to use one of the border stamps from that same holiday card kit, but I'm going to stamp it repeatedly so I can form a background. This is a great way to get more out of your stamps. So I'm stamping first with Versamark ink and adding some white embossing powder, and then I'm going to stamp it again and continue until I cover the most of this piece of paper. I'm going to cover up some of the bottom. Now I'm doing this at an angle just so that the pattern didn't look so lined up when I stamped it straight. But you can easily see through your acrylic mount and your clear stamp to line up border after border. After I was done, I heat set it, and now I'm adding some more distress ink. This is the Tumbled Glass, which is a light blue, and now I'm adding a little bit of Broken China, which is a little bit darker, around the edges. Before I spray all these pieces, I went ahead and die cut a memory box star from the watercolor paper and added Wild Honey, like orangish yellow ink on top. Now I can spray all these pieces at once, and I'm going to do this with the Sparkle Shimmer Mist. It's just a great kind of shimmer that when it dries, and the moisture in it kind of lets these inks blend together and gives a watercolor look. So I'm going to spray them pretty generously. I'll dab away any extra that I have puddling up on two of those trees there. But once this dries, I'll have a great shimmer with a watercolor look underneath. There's lots of shimmers that do this, and you can create your own, but this is the one I currently find myself reaching for a lot. Now it's time to stamp that little greeting on the bottom. There is actually another stamp set in this card kit. I love this one with lots of greetings, and you can kind of piece the words together. So I'm first stamping the word blessed with black Hero Arts ink, and then above it I'll stamp the words we are, and below it by his love. It's a great way to build up your own greeting, and you can orient the words however you like. So I'm gluing these little, I just kind of hand cut some snowbanks here onto the bottom of the piece that we did, and then I just adhered all of the trees and the star. So you can see I used some foam dots just to give it a little bit of dimension. I wish you could see in the video here, the picture will show it a little bit better, but that little bit of shimmer in the background really makes a big difference in making this card kind of catch the eye. So there's a fun technique of emboss resist with some shimmer, but real quick I wanted to also show you two other things that I did. I wanted my envelope to match, so I stamped on the flap that same border stamp just to kind of pull it all together, and I also used one of the border stamps to stamp Rejoice on the inside of the card. As I mentioned, this video is part of a video hop, so go ahead and click on the center of the screen here and it'll take you over to Kathy's video so you can see more ways to use this card kit. If you have questions on any of the supplies that I use, just look down below at the YouTube description and it's all there. Thanks for watching.